Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me take you through a study-filled week in my life preparing for my NEET PG examination, which is going to be held in about 60 days. I will share my plan for the preparation for the next 60 days as well as this week, the resources I am using and the ups and downs of the journey. Meet my friends and so much more. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello and good morning everybody, I'm Dr. Anuj Pachhel and today is Sunday. Today I have not uploaded a video but today I've got to study quite a lot. Roughly 63 days are left for my NEET PG examination and today I'm going to be doing forensic medicine and anesthesia. So that's the plan. My source for both of these will be first of all Marrow notes, the question bank as well as the PYQ and the revision video notes. Secondly BTR, that's the one thing from my heart. So ये दो चीज़ें करनी है and for both of this is the absolute plan. Now I won't be studying to the extreme details. I'll be studying the most relevant points for NEET PG, which is the way I have been preparing for the most time. It also happens that forensic medicine is my literal weakest subject in my GTs, so I plan on improving that today. Let's see, होता है तो होता है, वरना I'll just end up gaining some information which I did not have previously and I'm happy about that. I've just written down my targets over here for the 3 days, which helps me be a little more organized. I know exactly what to do when I wake up, which reduces the friction of studying and hence increases my productivity. So without any further ado, let's start studying. As you can see, I have not solved any of the PYQs for forensic medicine because I don't like it. Compared that to the other ones, I have solved for most of them, but forensic medicine मेरा काफी ज़्यादा बचा हुआ है. So the main idea is first I'm going to do the PYQs, which is going to get me to know the absolute important points, as well as I'm going to be writing it down in my mistake book. After organizing my desk properly so it's neat and clean, I start with the PYQs of the forensic medicine. So it's a good time to tell you how I revise any subject which I want to study. First step of course is to solve the PYQs from Marrow. By going to the question bank and scrolling down below, you enter this module called as previous year questions. So they have got all the previous year questions of the last 5 years organized, categorized based on NEET or AIMS. Of course I am doing the PYQs for NEET. That's my first step.
There was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane, and as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin,
Second step is I read my own notes which I've made from the revision videos as well as the question bank. So it covers up all the miscellaneous spaces which are left if the PYQs don't cover it in the first place.
Undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
And the third step is of course doing it from BTR. So obviously this takes quite a lot of time. This method requires you to have at least completed the question bank as well as the revision videos once before. Only then will you have your own notes prepared and then will you be able to complete step 2. Since I've already done that and it's my revision, it just becomes very much quicker. I always prefer my own handwritten notes compared to the printed ones because I have better retention that way. Something that I've realized quite a while ago. So something happened right now, that is I actually fell asleep while studying forensic medicine. So it happens only with this subject. But मैं accidentally 20 minutes के लिए सो गया था and now I've just woken up and I've just realized कि I don't remember anything that I've studied. So I'll tell you what I was reading for this to happen. Yup, this is the dread. This is the dread of my life. This is the IPC section. For all the non-medico as well as the NEET aspirants who are watching this video, you might be wondering, why am I studying law? Why am I studying IPC? The reason is, you might find it strange, but doctors are supposed to know some laws with the IPC sections. So you should know what is IPC 76 or what is IPC 82 or what is 175. And guess what? I'm not one of those doctors that actually remembers it. So like always in life, it's giving me a hard time, but I've tried to mentally categorize it and trying to see if that works. For the PYQs, I actually scored well. Or for almost all the question banks which I solved, I had like max to max 1 or 2, 3 mistakes, and I was happy with that. I have noted those mistakes down in my mistake book. But I really cannot believe that I fell asleep. Last time I guess I fell asleep was in final year while studying very late night for I guess medicine, कुछ ECG या ऐसा ही कुछ topic था, थोड़ी सी नींद आ गई, सो गया था. When this will be done, FMT will be officially over for me, so I'm just trying my best to incorporate everything in my mind because the next time I'll be studying FMT it might be 10 days from now. So इस 10 दिनों तक भूलना नहीं है सब. That's the idea. I wrote down the IPCs by hand and practiced it so that was the only way I could learn them. And I'm happy to say that 1 week has passed since that incident and I have not forgotten them, which is always a good sign. Well, after the IPCs was done, so was my motivation to study. So I went outside with my friend and we tried a new pizza place together. We talked about internship, we talked about NEET PG preparation and everything in between. Honestly, this was a stress buster which I needed after studying forensic. Everyone, I just came back, but now I feel like I should take one more extra hour of break. So this is the studio which you guys usually see. This is everything we've got, okay, and then this is the setup which you don't see. So after playing God of War Ragnarok, I slept and woke up the very next day. Of course, forensic medicine, we've done the Marrow, we've done the BTR and the PYQs, so FMT is done. Then we had a good evening. I did not get to fly the drone, so this is off. But we did go outside, so that was fun. The only thing which is left is anesthesia. So today I had a lot of college work, but that got postponed because many people are not present, so that's just gonna move to tomorrow. So basically, our anesthesia thing is gonna come like so. So we've got the anesthesia thing today. And we've got dermat and ortho, so it's gonna be easy. Dermat I've read many times now, so I'm just gonna do the BTR part of it and my notes, and apart from that the anesthesia, PYQs, BTR and my notes. Same with ortho, just my notes. And lastly, today is my day at the gym, so we've got to do that as well. Let's start our day. This is a complete mess, let me just fix it. The next day, I started my day with ortho PYQs as well as the PYQs of dermatology which were left. I make notes for every mistake which I make so that I would avoid them in the future, and then all of a sudden this happened. Out of nowhere, it started raining, and raining like crazy. Totally, as you can see, just look at the rain. Oh my god. Sort of random, it started raining. I don't know how it happened, but it has been happening in Nagpur for quite a while. So for the last 2 weeks we have had rains almost every 3 to 4 days. So that is crazy. I mean, first of all, it's not a good thing to have rains in April because it destroys the crop, and it just makes life difficult for farmers, and specifically it is like, it's weird for us as humans to comprehend कि यार बारिश क्यों आ रही है अप्रैल में. तो yes. After the rain stops, I started reading the dermatology section, and I love dermatology so much. I enjoyed the postings very well because we got to see so many wonderful cases. In fact, the highlight of my dermat posting was this disease called as xeroderma pigmentosum. So this particular disease is extremely rare, and it is a defect in the DNA repair mechanism called as nucleotide excision repair. So I never thought in my life I would be able to see that case, but I did see that, and it was interesting. It is one such subject. Once you attend the OPDs of that, you will find so many other clinical diseases associated with skin manifestations. Yes, revising it really made me relive my internship dermat days. Hi everyone, so I've almost finished dermatology from BTR and also from my notes, but now is the time to go to gym. So that's what I'm gonna do. I am dressed up to go to the gym. So let's go. So So the workout is complete. I worked out for roughly 1.5 hours, including cardio and strength training. Today was push day, so all the push wali activities we did, and now it's time to leave. We can finally go home, complete our dermatology as well as anesthesia. Feeling good. Sorry I could not record with the gym because I don't like it, but yeah. Coming back home, I completed the dermatology section revision as well as my notes, and then finally went ahead to read the anesthesia section as well. Both of these are short subjects, but combined all the short subjects will give you equivalent number of questions as one big subject. I was not really feeling like studying, but I, instead of doing anything else, just sat down and just opened my book and told myself, bas pad lo. Whenever you are not feeling like you want to study right now, but still you sit down and study, that particular act which you're doing, that is the actual motivation. The act of you sitting down is motivation. You don't need any motivation to sit down. You sitting down is the motivation. I hope that was not too confusing. It was amazing when I first heard it. So I'm pretty tired. Just completed the 2 BTRs for the dermat as well as anesthesia. They were all pretty good, and also did the PYQs for the same plus ortho. So I'm feeling pretty good. I did not get to revise the mistake book, but don't worry, there's always a tomorrow, and that tomorrow shall come tomorrow itself. So I'm just gonna go to sleep because I feel like sleeping, and I'm really happy with what I've done today. So revising 5 subjects in 3 to 4 days is honestly good, and I'm so happy with myself. So with that, let me end this day and say good night. Bye. The next day started with me revising my mistake book. This contains all the mistakes which I've made in the past GTs. It's quite huge, and it takes a mental toll on just reading this book because the mistakes are still difficult because you're likely to make them again. Hello everybody, I just completed reading some part of my mistake book, and I now feel like I should be giving a grand test because it's been like 4 days since I gave a GT. I'm trying to go for bi-weekly GTs that because I feel like that's the frequency I should be having right about now, especially with no internship. Reading the mistake book is sort of like, it might seem like that's a small thing, but it comprises the knowledge of all the subjects, all the mistakes which I've made, so I have to put my extra brain to get to know, okay, this is the mistake which I made and this is the correct solution to that one. I think I'm going to take half an hour more to read the mistake book and then just sit down to give the GT. Let's go. So let me tell you how am I approaching the GTs which are being held in Marrow. Personally, I feel like they are pretty balanced. They are not too easy, which is definitely what we don't want, and they are not too hard, which is again something we don't want. They are kind of balanced, like you get to the diagnosis, you get to the options, and sometimes the options may be confusing, but that is what I really want. I want to be on the limits of my knowledge so that I could be actually using my brain rather than just rote learning a fact and regurgitating in some GTs. Secondly, I always give the GT on my laptop and simulate the real look of the examination, which is what we want in the first place. I think it's time to do it. Start the GT. Whenever I'm giving a GT, I always do it on my actual laptop than to go for iPad, etc. because we can here simulate the real look of the examination, which is what we want actually. Also, this is my rough notebook which I always have when I'm doing my GT, so I can just quickly solve any questions they ask. In NEET PG they give us one paper, I have heard, so one A4 size paper they gave us, as well as one pen to write down. So that's what I'm going for over here. So let's start. So this is the real look of the examination, like it's supposed to be this way. Ganda sa photo aa gaya yaar, gangrene hai. After the GT is done, the very important part comes, that is to review the GT. So this is how I start my review process. First of all, I do the incorrect questions. Every question which I got wrong, I sit down, I look at why I did that question incorrectly and what is the correct explanation. What are the references which they have put in, and what is the pearl related to it specially. Because one pearl can give you the answers to 5 to 6 questions. Next, I go to the questions which I've guessed. So for every question which I feel is difficult for me, I just tick mark the guessed questions. So I go on to check all the guesses and get to learn all the new material which I have not learned before. Lastly, sometimes if I have the time, I'll go over the correct ones as well, but that is mostly something which I'm avoiding because guesses and incorrects are the major area of development. If I've done the question correct once, I'll probably do the question correctly the next time as well. Hi everyone, I just finished my grand test and it was like I scored exactly the same like I did last time, which I'm happy about, by the way. But grand tests are exhausting. They are really exhausting, but at the same time they do simulate the feel of the real examination. All I can say is that I need to work harder. That's it. That's all I need to say. Overall, the difficulty was, I would say, moderate, which is sort of what Marrow always has. Alright, now it's time for me to hit the gym and do some exercises. Today is going to be push day. Yeah, push day hai aaj. Coming back from the gym, there was a Mahaprasad next to my home and it was so delicious. Mahaprasads hit you different. I planned the next few days and how they're going to look like. I did not record much the next 2 days, but I studied quite a lot. I completed surgery from my personal notes as well as from BTR, and I reviewed my GT which I had given before. For NEET PG aspirants like me, the most important GT is going to be coming up in 1 month, and that is, I'm studying like that will be my main examination. So it's the National NEET PG mock which is conducted by Marrow every year, and basically it's a GT which is free for everyone. Something like 1 lakh people appear for it, and that is crazy because NEET has only got like 150 to 2 lakh people. So half the competition is already taking that exam. So it's on the 29th of May. So I'm basically preparing exactly like on 29th of May I'm going to be giving my NEET PG exam. It is scary because less than 1 month is left currently, but also exciting at the same time. Previous NEET PG mocks which I've given, they are very similar to all the PYQs which have been asked. I remember giving a national NEET PG mock in final year MBBS with the 16 batch when the 16 batch was giving the exams. That has been the entire discussion about GTs. Hello everyone, it's currently Friday and today's plan was to complete obstetrics. But instead I got sidetracked and just prepared anatomy physiology in the morning, and after that I was like, let's give another GT, but this time for INI CET. So INI CET is going to be roughly in 19-20 days. So to be very honest, I'm not prepared for it because my main target has been NEET PG. But nonetheless, I feel like I should be giving some grand test and I should be attempting INI CET just for the sake of it, just because I can, I should. I have given INI CET GT just once, that was last year, which was just in the regular schedules, but I've never given it according to the new pattern. So the new pattern is something like you have to have 50 questions wale 4 sets, so that equals 200 questions. Each set has to be solved in 45 minutes. So that is the new pattern and that is the GT that I'm going to give right now. Yeah, yesterday I did not record much because I wasn't feeling like it, to be very honest, but I did study surgery the entire day and I completed surgery from the Marrow revision notes as well as from the BTR. So I'm very happy that I did that and spent 2 days on a major subject which is very important. Sometimes my surgery was a little bit up and down, it was not where it was supposed to be for all GTs, so that's what my main goal is, to get the surgery up. Also, some of my friends came home yesterday because we have a convocation very soon, so we just had to discuss what we're gonna do. That's about it, enough talking. Let's now start with the GT with the INI set. I'm mentally imagining it to be like 450 questions wali grand tests in their own, so like subject wise tests but with all subjects. Okay, let's start. Top, as you can see, these are the various parts. I cannot shift to these parts at all. 45 minutes and we've got to solve 50 questions. Hello everyone, it's the next day. Today I've got just 2 goals. Complete 3 systems from BTR. We are going to be doing rheumatology, gastrointestinal tract and liver, and lastly renal system. I've already done the question bank of this from Marrow, so it should be fairly easy. I'm really excited to do it. I'm at that point of my preparation where I feel like I've done enough things that I know the questions, I'm able to get to the diagnosis. There are a few times when it happens that there are just 2 options which are left and I'm just confused in between of these 2 options. Whereas like 3 to 4 months ago it was like getting the diagnosis was also a bit difficult. But now selecting the most appropriate answer is a bit of a challenge. The second goal which I have for today is to complete all the PYQs which are left. So we've got 11 PYQ modules left in total, and if I complete these modules, practically the last 5 years PYQs I have done completely, which I'll be very happy about. So let's first do that and then go to the reading part. I also have to edit this video today because I have to upload it tomorrow. So that's the last goal of today. So let us start. By the way, I'm using these pastel colored highlighters which really are imparting good color to my notes. Just thought to mention that to you. Let's start with beats. Pediatric one is done. Now let's move on to medicine, which just got 3 previous year question banks which are left, roughly each with 20-25 MCQs. What's wonderful is that the previously bookmarked questions which I had gotten wrong while before solving custom modules etc. I gotten right this time. So that means I'm learning new things, and that's the goal of studies in the first place. So I just did the medicine question banks. Now I have got psychiatric 5 question banks left. So let's do that real quick. They're going to be smaller than an individual medicine Q bank. Hardly got like 5 to 10 MCQs each. So
It's easy if you let it go. We take the stand in the middle of the night. So take my hand, you will never.
yep, and with that we have just completed all the PYQs for NEET PG. See PYQ के modules, almost all of them have been completed for the NEET PG especially. If you go to the completed section, the yellow icons are the NEET PG ones, so you'll see that all of them are done, which is pretty good to be very honest. I feel really happy doing this. So one target is achieved, that is completing all the PYQs. Next we have to read the 3 systems from BTR, that is the target number 2, and I'm going to achieve that right after I have my lunch. Finally, it's 5:30. I'm moving on to the last system that we have to study for today, that is the renal system. I've completed the rheumatology as well as the GI system, so renal is pretty small compared to those other ones. So let's finish it up fast. Hello everyone, so I just completed the second target for today, that was to complete the 3 systems, rheumatology, GI as well as renal. So my renal system just ended and now I'm here on my roof just enjoying the amazing sun, the amazing sky above us, and it just feels so refreshing. Honestly, rooftops are therapy for real. As you can see, we did quite a lot this week, but there were definitely moments where I felt that I was not enough motivated to study, or I did not feel like doing it. And during those moments, I honestly could not study that much. The most important part is I maintained consistency. Even though that day might have been unproductive, the entire week was overall productive. Because the reason is every day I put small efforts. So if you too are struggling with a bad day, just know that put small efforts into that bad day and make it count. Just make it count. Study for 1 hour, study for 30 minutes, or just solve one question bank. But don't let that day go to waste. At least that's what I'm trying to do, personally speaking. Anyways, if you did enjoy watching me study and it motivated you even just a little bit, please make sure to subscribe, because making such videos takes up a lot of time, effort and energy, as you can see, and hitting the subscribe button in just 2 seconds would make up for all of that. Also make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. It really helps push the video in the YouTube algorithm. I think that's gonna be it for me. I'll see you in the next video. By the way, here's the trailer for the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.
I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd.